Welcome back to the Nancy Levin Show. Today's episode is for everyone who has ever felt like the glue that holds everything and everyone together while slowly falling apart on the inside. The high functioning, overperforming, deeply exhausted person who seems unstoppable on the outside, but hasn't felt truly rested, truly themselves in years. If that's you, know this. You are not alone. You are not broken. You've simply been trying to be everything for everyone, except yourself. I know this version of me well. I wore the cape. I played the part. I was Superwoman until I wasn't, until I couldn't. And what I learned in that unraveling was this: even Superwoman burns out. And when she does, it's not a sign of failure. It's the first sign of freedom. For years, I performed my life perfectly. The glamorous career, the full calendar, the constant giving, the gorgeous husband, the marriage that was enviable. And I paid a price for it with my energy, my identity, and my peace. That's why I'm so passionate about this conversation. Because Superwoman syndrome isn't just a pattern, it's actually a cultural epidemic. And it's costing us our health, our happiness, and our sense of self. So today, I'm sharing 3 powerful shifts to help you release the cape, reclaim your power, and come home to the truth of who you are. So let's start here. The Superwoman, Superman archetype. We admire it. We strive to be it. Superwoman is efficient, impressive, capable, constantly needed. But here's what we don't see. She's exhausted. She's lonely. She's disconnected from herself. And the Superwoman identity isn't actually rooted in strength. It's built on survival. And we learn early that our value is tied to performance, that being good means being of use, that being lovable means being needed. And so we hustle. We say yes. We carry it all because it's safer to be in control than to feel vulnerable. But the cost is so high. Chronic exhaustion, emotional numbness, a sense of living someone else's life. Here's the deal. Real strength isn't about holding everything together. Real strength is having the courage to let something fall apart. It's knowing that your worth was never connected to your output. Your worth is always in your essence. And when you stop equating busyness with value, you create space for something far more nourishing: rest, joy, creativity, connection. That's where your true power lives, not in the doing, but in the being. One of the greatest fears I know I was carrying was, if I stop, everything will fall apart. This might sound familiar to you. I used to wake up, grab my phone, start fixing things before I even got out of bed. Solving everyone else's problems gave me a sense of purpose, but it left me completely disconnected from myself. These days, I start my mornings in silence, in meditation, journaling, and then I head out for a hike on a trail with my breath, with me, because I've learned something that changed everything. Slowing down doesn't mean losing momentum. It means regaining direction. The Superwoman story tells us to keep moving, keep achieving, keep proving. But what if the next level of your life doesn't actually require more effort, but instead more alignment? Stillness is not the enemy of progress. It's actually the birthplace of it. So here's the deal. The pause isn't punishment. It's permission. Permission to feel again. Permission to listen. permission to choose what actually serves you. So if you are feeling depleted, if you're feeling foggy, if you feel like your powers are gone, I want you to know something. This is not failure. This is you waking up to your truth. It means your old operating system, people pleasing, overperforming, perfectionism, is breaking down. And you know what? That is a good thing. You were never meant to be the hero in everyone else's story. You are meant to be the author of your own. So instead of asking, how do I get back to the person I used to be? Ask instead, who am I becoming now that I'm no longer performing? Because this shift is seismic. You realize you never needed the cape. You just needed space. You just needed you. So the truth is, you don't need to rescue anyone, and you can't, not even yourself. You just need to return to what's real. Power is not performance. Power is presence. So let's talk about science for a moment here, because Superwoman syndrome is actually real and it's been studied more than ever. Psychologists call it high-functioning anxiety. Trauma experts trace it to childhood conditioning. Coaches like me see it daily in the people we serve. It's not just about burnout. It's a form of emotional self-abandonment. You've trained yourself to prioritize everyone else's needs, and in doing so, you've become a stranger to your own. The balm, it's not productivity hacks. It's not another self-care checklist. Plain and simple, it's about telling the truth. It's about knowing your limits and your boundaries. It's about giving yourself permission to stop performing and start being. Because the real you, the unmasked, unfiltered, uncaped you, doesn't need fixing. That you only needs permission to exist and express fully. So let's ground this in 3 steps you can take away today. The first is identify where you are currently performing. Ask yourself, where am I saying yes just to be liked? Where am I staying busy to feel worthy? 2, practice the pause. Each day, give yourself 5 minutes of stillness. Set a timer on your phone and then turn it over. No solving, just silence. Let yourself land. The third is redefine what strong means. Create a new definition of strength that includes softness, that honors rest, that leaves room for joy. And if that feels radical, good. You're rewriting the story, and that takes courage. So if your cape is slipping, good. Let it fall to the ground. Because beneath that cape is the person you were before the proving, before the performing, before the pretending. This person is not weak, not broken, just ready to be seen. You don't need to be superhuman. You just need to be true. So this week, I invite you to do one thing, just one, that reconnects you to you. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a no. Maybe it's 5 minutes with your hand on your heart, saying over and over, I'm allowed to rest. And whatever it is, know this. Every time you choose yourself, you take back a little more of your power. And that is the real heroism. I'm so glad you've been here with me today. Thanks for listening. If this episode spoke to you, please feel free to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, you don't lose your power when you stop being Superwoman. You finally find it. Until next time, stay true to you. And I'll see you back here next week.